the
It's just
bad
like the
times.
people that say, oh, that when you're in a relationship and then the man comes and he says, give me all the things I bought for you.
We're even having that conversation before you came here.
Oh.
Said a guy bought a girl an iPhone, Abi, and after the relationship returned, I said, when your father is not Steve Jobs,
Like-
is he the one that produced the iPhone?
Because I don't understand. Because me, I'm a, like I said, I think
Yeah.
I said it the last time. That I'm a gift
Because
man.
I don't think, do girls do the same
No,
thing?
I don't
everything
think so.
they give a guy
You know,
in
say,
a
come and
relationship
give me
is
back.
refundable.
No. Baby like me, I gift though. So yeah, and my gift is not cheap.
And it's always
So
the
you
guys
not come
that
and
do
I'll not come and it's always the guys.
Yeah. It shows that they are pained.
Yeah.
They say women are petty. Men are very petty.
Oh.
Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Headlines. With me today, I have a returning guest. But before I let her introduce herself, today we're going to be doing hot takes from the internet. Popular takes, popular thoughts and opinions on the internet, and we're going to be giving our own thoughts and opinions to them. So, Pamela, are you ready?
You know now, I was born ready.
All right, okay, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Pamela and YouTuber, project manager,
Yes,
and everything in between.
All right, so guys, our first hot take. So basically what will happen is I'll read out a hot take. These are definitely not our opinions. They're just, like I said, hot takes from the internet, and we will literally be reacting to them.
Yeah.
So I'll read it out, then you give me your thoughts and opinion, and I'll do same, maybe. So first of all, we're tagging this episode opinions that can start a family meeting. Yes. So, okay. So our first hot take is money stops nonsense, but sense is also necessary.
I mean, I agree.
Okay.
Because, I mean, money stops nonsense. We know how powerful it is to have money. I mean, success attracts friends.
Of course.
Has many friends. But imagine if now, because some men have only money to offer. They just have money to offer. And there are people like me who, I work for my money. I'm not broke. I'm not rich.
Hallelujah.
So you cannot come with your money and come with nonsense because I won't take. So I don't know about other people, but money stops nonsense. But come with your sense because you're going to go to the abyss.
Basically, it will shock you. Well, some people, they feel like, oh, I just need to have money and it's okay. It will shock you when you realize that your money is not that important.
It's not.
That your money is nothing. Like I used to say, inside money, there's money.
Of course now.
Even being rich is even relative,
Exactly.
So you can think you're rich, but in another person's world, you're not rich.
How rich are you?
Really? Okay, so our second hot take is many people claiming to protect their peace are just avoiding accountability.
Nigerian men. I mean, this is not to come at my Nigerian men because women too, there's that. But a lot of Nigerian men rather die than take accountability for anything. And they come with the I want to protect my peace energy. When in reality we know that there's no peace to protect. We're not even a peaceful person.
Yeah.
You don't even have the peace. So what are you protecting? Why are you protecting what you don't have?
Yeah.
So most times it's just people who don't want to take accountability. They don't want to say, oh, yes, I did it. This is why I did it. Or sometimes when someone, like you start talking to somebody and it becomes a talking stage.
Yeah.
And maybe something happens, he ghosts you, and one day he now comes back to speak to you, and then you're asking questions like, what happened? He'll now say, I was trying to protect my peace.
Without saying the real reason.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Peace, you don't
I think
have.
It's almost like ghosts. It's like gaslighting someone.
Exactly, because we know that it is a lie.
Yeah.
We know. We know for sure that you're a troubled person in a troubled world. But you would rather die than say, oh,
yeah,
I was going through this, I was going through that. I take accountability that I was going through it. I ghosted you, I was wrong. they'll rather die. I mean, it's not.
Or I was seeing somebody
I
else.
was talking to so many people,
Yeah.
in alphabetical order. So there's that. I mean, women too, it's just how human beings are wired.
Yeah.
But I feel like now it has become a trend where everybody's protecting their peace, So
Well, protecting your peace, I can agree to some level, but then I like to also say that, there's some people that they say, I want closure. I think sometimes closure is not necessary.
no,
It's not necessary.
not.
Sometimes you're just taking yourself to have some kind of, would I say, toxic, like something that will even be more toxic to you. Do you get? So a lot of people ride off the back of closure. Oh, I want closure. I want closure. Sometimes you have to understand when closure is not necessary. If the person is not ready to, be accountable for their actions, then why do you want the person to give you closure? If they wanted to give you closure, you wouldn't even have to ask for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's protecting your peace. I mean, protecting your
Of
peace
course.
is a real thing.
Yeah, it's important.
I just feel like a lot of us have taken advantage of, protecting our peace.
Even when you're the toxic one.
When you're
dodging,
you're the troublesome one. What peace are you protecting?
And you want everything to be swept under the carpet,
because me, I
and
will
people
go
act
over
like
and abroad to protect my peace. I
Okay.
would do that. I mean, not sometimes at the detriment of someone's feelings or someone's mental health, maybe. But I would. But it cannot just be from someone who is genuine, intentional, or you can't be that. And then
But would you agree that sometimes you can be the toxic one?
of course, I mean, Jesus, this is taking out. See,
Yes.
I just took accountability.
Yeah. No, there's that.
Yes, of course. I mean, sometimes, you're the toxic one. Sometimes you're the troubled one. Sometimes you're the one who, I mean, we ghost now. Come on.
You're the one who's still processing your trauma.
Exactly. I mean, hurt people.
Yeah. Especially
so
when you've not healed properly.
exactly. We just want to, that's why I'm a big fan of, for relationships, when you leave one relationship, you take out time to unlearn. And some people cannot deal with the fact that they cannot be in relationships. They have to be in relationships, like a thing. They can't stay, they can't deal with themselves. So they are humping on another relationship and messing somebody's mental health. I mean, we had to be there to realize that, oh, this thing is not good. So that's where all the accountability talk stems from, because sometimes we are toxic. We are the ones who ghost. We are the ones who don't take responsibility.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been there.
So our next take is, most Nigerian parents don't actually know their kids. Do you agree or you disagree? Me, I agree with this one.
I agree wholly, solely and wholly, because like me now, I feel like at some point in my life, my mom didn't know me. Like, yeah, I feel like, I mean, she has grown to know me now, but I feel like at some point, because I'm not a conformist. In short, had never been a child who liked to conform. If you tell me move, I'll ask you why. Why are you telling me to move? I've always been like that, and there was youthful exuberance too, but then there was just me being heady, because that's how a child who doesn't conform seems like, even till now, I'm still very, some people still look at me and like, some of my aunties look at me and like, she's stubborn, or she doesn't listen because I ask questions. And you know that the Nigerian parenting, they don't like questions.
Yeah.
They don't like it. Why would you question me? I'm older than you. So at some point in my life, I always thought that my mom did not know me, because, I mean, I read something somewhere where someone said that our parents are first-time parents. This is all they know, and
they
that's
don't know
fine.
anything
But
better.
my experience is my experience, So there was a time in my life where, I was heady, but there were some things I would not do. But I felt like my mom never. If you tell my mom she went to rob a bank, she will say, yes, that's my child,
Yeah.
And it hurt me a lot, because I realized that you don't know me. I always said it, that you don't know me. I won't think you know me, And she didn't actually know me. I feel like my dad knew me more than my mom, So if you tell her, she did this, she'll say yes. She did this, she'll say yes. There was nothing good there because I was heady, of course. You know how that can be for a parent.
Of course.
So my mom was always, if you tell her any bad thing you told her, she didn't know me for me. She didn't understand my personality. I remember when I was quite young and my mom asked all of us, like my siblings, what would you like to do when you grow up? The other one said, oh, I like to be this. The other one said, I want to be this. And then I said, I like to talk. And my mom said, what? She called my auntie and said, she said she likes to talk. Are you hearing? Someone that is going to go to school from January to December for 6 years wants to talk. She didn't understand it. And as I grew, I tried to explain to her that talking did not necessarily mean gossip
or yapping
or just, there are people who earn, look at us now.
Yeah.
People talk for a living.
Of course.
And I was so young, I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that I actually like to talk. I like to hold conversations. She didn't just see it. She just thought that because you're a stubborn child, yes, why wouldn't you like to talk?
I think there's something that comes with that stubbornness. It's almost like you're saying it because you know it will annoy her.
Yeah, exactly. So when I hosted Echoes of Poetry in 2018, 2019, I had to make her understand that this is talking, this is poetry, this is writing, this is everything art,
Yeah.
She had to understand, she had to come to terms with it. And I saw her trying to get sponsors for me, partners for me. And I was very impressed because this was my mom who would think the worst of me. But yeah, I agree that some parents don't actually know their children, because then there's that comparison, when you keep comparing a child, that the child loses their zeal to live. I got compared to a lot of my friends a lot, but to the glory of God, I'm not doing badly, and I don't know about them, but I'm not doing badly, like I have had people walk up to me and tell me, I never thought you would be like this. I never thought you would be career oriented. I never thought people, yeah.
What were you looking like? No,
because
like,
I was very unserious.
Really?
Yeah. So when I talk about career, when I coach people, like people like, I never ever thought that you would work in this. I was very I seemed unserious because in uni I was always working with boys.
But I didn't see you as when I met you in uni now.
Because I feel like we are alike. Do you understand?
We are alike.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like we're very alike. So
I kind of understood.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah. So people actually walk up to me to tell me that, and it stemmed from the fact that my mom used to compare me, with the ordinary child that had their demons that she didn't know about.
Wait, that's even where I want to go to. Okay, so there's a twist to this. There are parents that don't know who their children are. How I mean that is that, some parents think that their kids are good. Okay, let me rephrase that. Their parents, for example, now, when everybody thought you were stubborn, I'm sure you must have had friends that were worse than you, that were your friends. But their parents felt that you were the bad one, you were the stubborn one, you were the one trying to spoil their child.
Exactly. Because there are parents who did not want me at their houses.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Did they make it
obvious? Body language,
Okay.
Oh, and as kids, we talked a lot. Oh, my mommy does not want you, Yeah, I was that child because
reminds me of somebody.
Yeah, so I was that child who was like, they got warned a lot about me,
Oh God.
And the funny thing is, my mom never allowed me go for parties, bashes. Like we never ever. I don't think I remember attending any bash while I was in secondary school because my mom was strict. She was very strict. Even my mom worked in a construction company, but she was very present because we had nannies and then we had rules, So it was funny how people thought I was the bad influence because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't. She was caging us and I wasn't doing anything. And you know that there's a possibility that can go left or right, doing that. But I mean, I feel like my siblings are I don't think the majority of us are we're good, we are responsible, So I feel like there's also a twist to this thing because there's some parents who don't also know that their children are bad. And they are portraying Exactly. They
And
don't know.
they are calling other
They will
people's
swear.
children names, not knowing that your own child
Exactly.
is worse than that child
Yeah.
that you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
remember one woman who called my mom to say, my child she has never ever has seen a boy. She had no man has seen her naked. Somebody that literally gathers us to tell us about the boys in her life, when we were younger, But she didn't know who her
Of
child
course,
was.
she was
Was,
hiding that from
yeah,
her
she
mom.
had that cloud in her, that my child is this. So that can also be a thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that your child is this and child is not this, or so it can go both ways.
Or even some know that their children are bad, but they just want
Yeah,
to pretend that they're not
yeah,
outside.
yeah.
It reminds me
So,
of somebody. I had like a friend in secondary school. Like, okay, so when secondary school, then I switched schools, but we're still friends, and she lived around the neighborhood, and she would always come to my house. But every time she came to my house, I would notice that she would come with her younger brother, and the boy would always be acting somehow. Like he would be very dramatic.
yeah,
I'm just looking like the boy is not my mate. Like
yeah.
I'm just looking. Every time the boy was always, very dramatic when they came to our house. So one day she now comes to our house and I see, I can't remember whether it was her head that was broken or she had a wound on her hand or something. I can't even remember. So I was like, what happened? What happened? I can't remember the lie she told anyway, but the younger brother just immediately screamed. I was like, oh, it's a lie. My mommy beat her because of coming to your house.
What were you?
And I was like, I looked at her, I was like, your mom beat you for coming to my house. And she finally like said yes. And I was like, but if your mom says you shouldn't come to my house, then don't come to my house.
Mhm.
Like, and I was very serious. Like, if your mom says, like, because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, why is your head getting broken? Or you getting serious wound because you're coming to my
Yeah.
house?
Mhm.
But, to each their own. If your mom says don't go to somebody's house, don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go. We the bad ones.
Please.
And we it's so funny how the bad ones always
Always
turn
turn
out
out good.
good.
That's the thing.
And you know the funny thing? It's so funny how the people you think are bad are the best ones in that group or in that pair of friendship.
I don't know why it
I
turned
don't
out
know
like that,
why.
but it always turns out like that. I'm not saying any one of them that,
I'm serious. Like I've had that situation again in uni where for some reason, but because like recently I was even thinking of it. I was like, I'm sure this girl either lied with my name or said,
Of
maybe she
course.
used my name as an excuse for a lot of things because the idea of me that her parents and siblings have in their head is
Crazy.
strange. Like it's
It's
so
probably that
strange. Yeah.
too.
And you know the funny thing, another thing that should have also like I felt should have kind of, sorry to say, I don't think her parents were actually smart because this is somebody that had a lot of friends, but I was the only one she was comfortable enough with to invite to their house. I was the only one she was comfortable with to invite for, family events. Even when I noticed the whole awkwardness, between the parents and I and all that stuff, she still invited me for a wedding in their family. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, I'm not
I just
coming
feel
anywhere
like
near your house.
a lot of parents are not sensitive. I mean, giving birth or getting pregnant should be like very intentional because you
Yeah.
should be ready to be extra sensitive, turn on your watchdog eyes, your ears, everything,
Mhm.
because it's very easy to get it wrong with
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
Very, very easy.
And
Because I feel like parents need to get it together. And nobody's asking for perfection. We're just asking for a bit sensitivity. Do you
Mhm.
get? Because a lot of these things caused a lot of trauma with some kids. Because I remember we used to stay in one compound where we had like one guy who used to like smoke and everything. And then every time his friend didn't used to smoke. But every time his father came and saw like liters, he would say, oh, it's this person triggered. So the father immediately hated the boy. If you were smart enough, why would a child be comfortable smoking in your house when then you think your child doesn't smoke?
Yeah.
Do you
No,
understand?
another question is why is the child comfortable enough to smoke in your house and not
Exactly.
in their own
And not in
house?
their own house. And then
Yeah.
you've already tagged him demon. And one day you have a heart attack because your son is caught smoking.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I remember he arrested him.
Arrested this one for
Yes, he
smoking.
arrested him and he put him in a hillock and chained him and took him around the whole street for the streets to see him because he thought his child was.
But that was also that's also another traumatic. Like, how do you do that to your child? Is
That's
he
what
a
he did.
dog? Why would you chain him?
He was a lawyer.
Okay.
He even took him. He had him arrested. They just kept him there. He said, "Don't torture him. Just keep him there."
Just to teach him a
No,
lesson.
that child was very, very, very heady. But it was funny because his friends were the ones getting the lashes because they thought he was the good child. So it goes, but parents just need to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next take is marriage is an achievement.
Gang. Marriage? This talk.
It is an achievement. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I'm too educated to agree. Come on. Marriage and achievement. In what year? I mean, if you want to look at it in another, you know that for me,
anyway, I actually have a different take, but let me hear.
For me, life is not a fairy tale, but for some people, it is a fairy tale.
Okay.
Some people have gotten married and they've gotten their direct elevation. Do you get?
Yeah.
So that can seem like an achievement. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The average Nigerian parents just want you to get married. If you notice, if you're doing very well as a Nigerian girl or an African girl, you barely get the go and get married. Go and get married. It sort of reduces. If you're doing well, if your parents are doing well too, they don't need like some sort of elevation. It's reduced. They just whisper it. I think that you should get married.
Not with the audacity.
Exactly. Not you should do and get married. So you leave this. No.
Yeah. Or if you don't get married by next year, get out of my house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I know that it can seem like it has been an achievement because I know some people that are married are no more, their glow up is eternal. Their dressing has changed. They are flying business class. It can seem like that. It can be an achievement.
Yeah.
But I am too educated to think that marriage is an achievement because, I am the achievement I'm achieving.
No, but anyway, to each their own.
Yes, of course.
When it comes to marriage as an achievement, I actually think for this one, I'd like to sit on the fence. It can be an achievement if it is, because just like anything can be an achievement, depends on the individual. So for example, if it's something that you were aspiring to, do you understand? Like somebody that would sit down and actually plan, make mental notes on, I want to get married at so time, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, and they are able to achieve that. I feel that it can be an achievement if it's something that you worked towards, because something that you aspired.
Because if I buy a book now, and I'm jolly, maybe I didn't have the money to buy a book. Like me, I always say that my process is my luxury. For every process that or every process that happens in my life is my luxury. I am overjoyed because I know how much money I had to save, how much time, the effort, So my process is my luxury. So imagine if somebody, like I wanted to buy a book now, and then I kept saving small for the book, and one day I buy it. There are people with bigger books. There are people with, there are people with bookshops, and then I eventually buy this book. That's an achievement if you look at it. I think so. Yeah, to each his own. Yeah,
it's actually relative. If you think marriage is an achievement, it is. If you feel it's not, of course it's not for you. Yes. So, so our next take is jollof rice is overrated. It's just rice and stew mixed together. I agree.
Rice and stew mixed together. Mix rice and stew together. Does it give you the jollof rice? Except
mixed together with burnt bottom and
I don't think so.
Firewood smoke.
If you can cook proper
and a lot
jollof
of pepper.
rice, I don't think you can. You can't say that now. Come on. Because even the best stew and the properly boiled rice can never ever give jollof. Come on. Let's call it spade a spade. There's rice and stew, then there's jollof rice.
I'm not a big fan of jollof rice.
Me too.
I actually love jollof rice, but like I eat it.
Me,
but
I'm not
a big
exactly.
fan,
So
like,
imagine if I say this, because
yeah.
I'm not a. I like properly made fried rice.
So you disagree?
No, I totally disagree.
Okay.
Let's give jollof rice its credit.
Okay.
If you don't make jollof rice properly, it's not jollof rice. If you mix rice and stew, jollof. If you mix rice and stew,
it's true. It's not the same.
It's not the same. It can never give that taste. No.
Yeah, especially party jollof.
Exactly.
But then again, I'm not really a fan, so it doesn't matter to me. Okay, so being the firstborn in a Nigerian family is a scam.
No, I don't want to discredit being a firstborn because I am not a firstborn.
Okay.
But is it a scam? In what way? Are you a firstborn?
Partially. Half firstborn. But then again, like I said, I'll pass on it because I don't really... I'll pass on it. That's it.
I don't think...
I'm not a firstborn. I'm actually my mom's first child. But I'm not my father's first child. I'm a firstborn.
But in what way is it a scam?
That's it. Okay, let me explain why, people think it's a scam. Because as a firstborn, a lot of firstborns shoulder the responsibilities of the family. So it's almost like, oh, you're a firstborn, you have to do this, you have to carry everybody along, you have to provide for people. And in most situations, I want to think that's the reason for this hot take, is that a lot of people, after doing all this, are not appreciated. Do you understand? All your labor as, a very young person, you use it to raise your family. Then when the other people now make their own money, they're off flenduring, like, and you're like,
it happens more.
Come on, I made all this sacrifice for nothing. Plus the disrespect that will even come because they don't see it as you did anything for them.
I can give, even though it does, I've never seen it happen around me.
Yeah.
I've seen stories where firstborns they sacrifice everything. We even watch it on movies.
Yeah.
Where a firstborn would make sure all his siblings or her siblings goes to school, and she's the illiterate who doesn't get the accolades that she deserves.
Yeah.
So I can understand if it's said to be a scam, but where I come from, nobody
firstborns,
does that.
I think, like, when the issue of firstborns is actually relative.
Yeah.
There are families that the firstborns are actually the laziest people. Like, they benefit from other people.
Like, I feel like that was something I posted on my WhatsApp, because I feel like I do a lot of, like, firstborning. Like, I am so... I feel like naturally, in every home, if you're the sacrificial lamb, you will suffer.
Yeah. Whether you're the firstborn
or the lastborn, if you do not put yourself first, you will suffer. Everywhere. Whether you're the firstborn, second, because I am secondborn, and I weep. Like, I take care of the house, like, not financially, because my dad is big on, if you like spit in my face, I'm still going to make sure that you're fine. I'll still, my parents never let the burden of anything financial, be on my shoulder. If I'm doing anything, I'm doing it because I'm an adult who's responsible.
You want to do
it. But I'm talking other things. I'm talking emotions. I'm talking other things, not financially.
Okay.
Triggers. Okay. I'm talking checking the well-being of everybody in the house.
Okay, making sure everybody's good.
Making sure the house functions.
Okay.
Triggers, because it's not only about the money or anything, know. So I feel like the moment you say, I am the sacrificial lamb, you just know
you're going to suffer.
You're going to suffer in everything. It's not just in the home. It's with relationships with girl and girl, boy and boy, girl and boy. If you do not put yourself first, you are going to suffer. So I feel like more firstborns should learn to put themselves first. Know that you can die.
Learn to be selfish.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Selfish. It's very important to be selfish in this time and day.
Yeah.
Because you say, oh, I want to do this. Take care of yourself. Don't say, oh, go to school, be educated. I know that there are some sacrifices you need to make, but then don't do it at the detriment of your happiness, and then tomorrow you'll be expecting that somebody is going to come. People can be ungrateful.
People are ungrateful. Yeah.
So you cannot, when you do things, just do it and say, oh, I'm doing it because I'm just being irresponsible. But don't give up your life because you need to see. That's not love. But self-love is the best love. If you self-neglect, I can never be around you. Because,
Do you know that I unconsciously practice that?
If I notice that you self, I would leave you.
Yeah.
If I notice that every time you're always talking down on yourself, I will leave you.
Every time you're always saying something negative,
I would leave you. No, you cannot show me love if you self neglect. You cannot practice love if you self neglect.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of firstborns do that, where they would leave themselves, forget about themselves,
just to shoulder the
exactly.
So our next hot take is wearing ashwebi to every event is a scam and a financial trap.
Attending every event is a financial trap. It's not ashwebi. Me, if I'm not very tight with you, I don't wear ashwebi. I don't. If you come to me and say, "Yeah, I don't have friends," I don't.
I feel like ashwebi is even overrated.
It's
Why should we have ashwebi for every event? Okay, for me, I feel like every event shouldn't have an ashwebi. Not every wedding should have an ashwebi. You can actually have like there's something the Yorubas call it just a cap and head tie that everybody can have. Then filler.
Yeah.
You can wear anything that matches with that, or you have a color and have people that, let them wear, or even if they don't have the color, like let them wear whatever. After it's a celebration.
Me, I don't even have a problem with wearing ashwebi. But don't come to me if I'm not your friend, because I feel like now, even like people just come to people just to build number. They just come to people, just anybody. Ashwebi is supposed to be uniform for your friends, your close friends. I don't think I want anybody who is not my close friend wearing my wedding ashwebi.
Yeah.
But just so that the culture doesn't die. I mean, I feel like ashwebi is important because to keep the culture alive.
Yes.
But now it's really pricey.
But ashwebi shouldn't be for everybody.
No, it shouldn't. Yeah. It shouldn't. And you don't have to build numbers. I feel like now people want to build numbers. They want a long train. If you have 3 friends, where ashwebi? If you have 3 members of the family, where ashwebi? I don't see the need. I don't know what color scheming they are doing, but to me, I don't think it's necessary.
How about the people that say if you're not wearing the ashwebi, like you're not allowed into the event hall just because you're not wearing the ashwebi? For me, that's crazy.
That's very, in short, why if you should give that, I feel like it should be on the card or the invite or whatever. Yeah. If you're not wearing that, I just know better than to just waste my time, because why are you doing that? That's very unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
It befits the aim now, because you attend the event to celebrate, to have fun. Why are you doing that? But I respect you. Me, I don't even like...
to each their own.
Me, I don't even... If you come to me, I'll ask you... Me and you, somebody
who even wants to waste that money preparing for a wedding?
Somebody asked me recently if... he added me to his group, committee of friends. And they had already started posting 100 or something thousand for this, for that. I just removed myself and texted him. I said, "Do you know me?" He now said, "You are my church member." I said,
your church member is not your friend.
I'm not your friend. Why would you think that you should just add me to a group to be your friend, or you to be in your committee of friends the way ashwebi? Then the ashwebi is running into hundreds, and that's not tailoring. No, that's not tailoring. I'll now buy new shoe to match, wig, install hair,
makeup artist.
Oh no, come
nail
on, the
tech.
fail that I'll now need. No, it's not possible. You have to be worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think ashwebi is very overhyped.
Very, very overhyped. So this one is very controversial and very funny. I'm already laughing. This one says, that soft life you are posting is funded by someone's husband.
Whoa. First of all, are you a soft girl?
Oh my God.
Are you soft? Are you a soft babe? Because
soft girl is relative.
It's very relative.
Like I say, my soft might be somebody's hard. And somebody's hard might be my soft.
But okay, are you a soft?
Yes, actually,
because me, I'm soft
girl era.
And there's nobody's husband in it's somebody's husband. I feel like, it's also valid to say that, because there's a lot going on. But I feel like the world is revolving. Women are becoming more powerful, more financially adequate. There are women who are opening businesses, ruling the world with their money, with
heading corporate.
Yes, it's there's woman power happening, and it's not just talk. I am one of the people who who fight it every time when I see it on Twitter that, oh, when a woman posts a car and she, I know that we've had series. You know what happened a
Of
few months
course.
ago with the Lamborghini?
But
know,
even with the Lamborghini situation, the
exactly.
girl bought it
She
by
bought it,
herself. Yeah.
she bought it, she said if you don't buy it, because somebody's asking for something. Now, I feel like we would always ask. As girls, you always ask, but it's not like
But I don't think it's not all girls that ask.
Exactly.
Because another thing is just that it irks me when I hear that generalization. So because somebody is posting something or because a girl has achieved something, that means there's somebody somewhere funding it. It almost looks like you don't deserve it. I feel like when people say things like that, it's almost like they feel you don't deserve
Exactly.
it. They deserve it better than you.
I remember the talk about the whole cookathon thing. It was such a big deal. I used to work in a university that year.
Okay.
And I was always posting about the cookathon and everything. And one of my colleagues was like, wait till she dey cook self, where she get money like that. Wait till, and this is someone who like I've known from grassroots level.
Yeah.
She gets, and you cannot come and you don't have evidence that this is what it is. And you're coming to say, oh, that she does not deserve the life that she's living now. Her house is automated, blah, blah, blah. It's a man. Do you know who that baby is? I hate the generalization. This is not to say that, but we see it's the tables are turning.
That's exactly what I wanted to say.
The tables,
both sexes help both sexes.
Exactly.
There are women that help men, and there are men that help women. And in as much as that happens, there are also women and men that work for their money. It's not because it's almost like, for me, it sounds like jealousy.
Because if a man buys me, he decides to buy me a car now.
And what's wrong about that?
What is wrong about
and apart from even that, if it's easy, run it now.
No, the thing is, it's a man's world. It's so funny because it's not actually a woman's world. They like to say that it's our world, but I see that men have even more. Like they say, oh, that a woman just sits down and then just go and grow a vagina or something. Because it's what I see. Men have their privileges.
Of course, women have
exactly.
Their privileges.
Let's just come to terms with that and stop the rage, because it's actually jealousy at this point.
It is jealousy.
Because if you tag every woman's success to
it's just like
come on now, you're boring. It's boring. I feel like it's boredom, because I feel like now if anybody wants to just make you feel some type of it, they'll say, oh, Ashago, or it's a man. Get creative, for God's sake.
And I remember with the stuff that I do, I don't want to go into that.
Yeah,
I always get people say something like, oh, it's because you're a girl, that's why. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You can, these people are just, and most times, of course, most often than not, they're wrong. Because you have a conversation with somebody, you explain what you want and you say it in details, and they are also sure that you know what you want. Or if you want to do business with somebody, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know how to communicate what they want.
They don't.
And when you don't communicate very well, or when sometimes, even when you communicate well, it's not everybody that is going to agree with you. It's not everybody that is going to believe in you. One door will close you, another one will open. It's not because you're a guy, or it's not because you're a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand?
Because men have been ruling the world since. They've been ruling, taking seats, being in the Senate. Nobody has died. We've been fighting. Women power. Women should rule.
The funny thing is that all the women in politics is because because of something.
Exactly.
They feel like these women are not deserving. Even when these women are like serious grassroots leaders, and
you see the work that they
have put in,
but you just come and you say, I feel like it's thwarting somebody's efforts.
It's just like you're not post your new car now.
Exactly. You not say it's a woman, it's a man. But which
after all the work that you have done,
the
sleepless nights, God,
the day you come for me, I would what?
It's just like now that I'm suffering now.
Yeah.
Then when I become a billionaire, you now come and tell me that how, from where to where.
when I was entering
When I
keke,
was entering keke,
eh,
trekking, using
it was
these
normal.
bends, you did not
Oh,
see.
come on now. See, people should just get creative because me, I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing. It's
Exactly.
boring at
And
this
it's
point.
and
It's
it's so
very
funny
boring.
because it's this same narrative that has pushed a lot of women into working hard.
Yes.
Women are not sitting down.
There was
Like,
something I saw on TikTok where a presenter asked, a host asked a man, what would you do if you found your wife cheating?
mm,
And he said, I'll send her out of the house now. She'll move out of my house. She's packing out.
mm.
And they now said, what if you find your wife finds you cheating? She said, she's a woman now. She has to take it,
The
she has to take
audacity.
it. And somebody I know went in the comments and said, now man you be. I just blocked him. Then he came to my house. When he came to my house, and I said, you were not. I said, because you were talking trash. Okay, now we have women who buy the land and the men build the house. Or men who build the land and the men. What are you going to do to that
Or
kind of
a
woman?
woman who bought the land and built the house. Who will leave
Exactly.
the house?
Because see, until my auntie died, I
Mm.
did not realize that she was doing a lot of things. Like she was the pillar in the home. Because everybody would think, oh, it's my uncle, it's my uncle. But when she died, we realized that she was everything.
Yeah.
And it's like that. See, the thing about women is that we do it and keep quiet.
Yeah.
We do it
But
and
men
keep
will do it
quiet.
with their egos and
Exactly.
raise their
I,
shoulders.
I sent you to school. I did, but women are doing it
Of
quietly.
course.
See, if you check 50% of homes, you'll notice that women run the home and they
Sure.
run it with their money. But because it's a man's world, everybody just naturally thinks it's the man's money.
Yeah.
So please, everybody should come to terms with the fact that, yes, so a man can see you now and say, I want to buy you this thing, and he'll buy. And please deal with it. Stop
And it does not mean that you cannot buy it for yourself.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that everything every woman owns is
because
the
it even
man that
takes
owns
money
it.
to make money.
Of
Do you get?
course, yeah.
For you to see me wear a shoe of 50,000 naira,
Mhm.
you're going to want to buy me something better. Do you get? Because
Yeah.
I bought it with my money.
Of
Do you
course.
understand? It takes money to make money. You see me wear a hair of 200,000 naira. Tomorrow you're going to go and get me something better, or you're going to try to get me something better. So you have to be somewhere to actually attract things like that. Do you think it's easy for somebody to buy Lamborghini for somebody?
If
Come
it's
on.
easy now,
Uh-uh.
let all of us
So
run it.
the hasty generalization
It's
should stop.
crazy.
Should
Yeah.
just stop.
So
Yeah.
definitely we do not agree with that.
No, we do not.
Not every woman that is posting things that they got for themselves on social media
It's
is
funded by
not a
somebody's
man that bought it
husband.
for them. It's almost like they are trying to shame you for being able to achieve something. It's
Yeah.
almost like, because I cannot achieve it, so how else could she?
Yeah.
It must have been
Yeah.
crazy. So okay, our next take is bride price should be refundable after divorce.
Simple.
You agree?
No, I don't think so. I don't agree. I want to stand on the fence on that because
Okay.
I mean, bride price. How I don't know how it works. I don't
Okay,
know
so
how,
bride price, when it comes to bride price is relative when it comes to culture or families. There's some families that actually go all out and get a lot of money, like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. There are families, I think maybe in the Delta or Benin area, you put money and they will take like 10 naira or 1 kobo or 1 naira from, and that's the bride price. So it's like, it depends on the family and the culture. But when you say bride price should be refunded after divorce, fine if that divorce happens before children.
Okay.
How are they refunding bride price after somebody has given birth to 5 children that are bearing the man's name? How?
How much is
Bride
naira?
price
How
of
much
what?
No, I don't think so.
And besides, those children cannot even be, not to say, some people say, oh, you're turning women into slaves, but then
But are they
by collecting bride price?
But are they men who want their bride price?
Yes, there are.
There are men?
Yes, there are people that demand for,
Wow.
because they feel like, if your family still has the bride price, I'm still
your husband
married to you. Yes. So returning the bride price means that they're no longer married to you. Traditionally, yeah.
What if the people that took the bride price are no longer?
No, whoever is alive will refund the bride price from that family. Yeah.
That's weird to me. That's very weird.
But when it comes to bride, like, when I think to each, and we're also coming to a place where women don't want anybody to pay bride price on their head.
Yeah, because
because
it
it's
seems
almost
like
like you're
selling
selling
off.
somebody.
Yeah.
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 So,
Because I know somebody used to tell me, if by the time I pay your bride price, you have to take in so that you stay in the house. You that does not like staying in the house, you that likes to travel. Every time you
is he
travel,
buying a baby
yeah,
factory?
you that likes to travel, by the time I'll pin you down.
You know, that's the thing. See, I've
Yeah,
been
so
hearing that. So hold on. I've been hearing this narrative a lot lately about men. A man sees you, he likes you or doesn't like you, whatever. But the thing is that all what he wants is he sees a girl that is shining, doing well, looks like you're high up there. They just want to marry you to break you down, to
Yeah.
bring you down.
I feel like, I mean, I digress, but
Mm.
I feel like men like the idea of
Being able to
powerful woman.
subdue a
No, no,
woman.
no. Being a man, you ask a man, why do you like a woman? And he'll say, I like her because she's very productive, she's handy, she's intelligent, he says all of those things, but doesn't like the reality that comes with it.
Yeah.
They don't like the reality. And I think I made a tweet that went viral, I think some months ago, where I said that do men actually like the reality of of having influential women, having industrial women? They in their head, they like it. The reality
I
of it,
think
because the
it's an
reality
ego
is,
trip.
yeah, the reality is different. The reality is a woman who you say, who says, I want to go this somewhere, and then you're saying, don't go, and she's asking you why, and they think, oh, that's you not being submissive,
This
so
submissiveness.
exactly, so I feel like, that is such a thing for men. Men don't like it. They don't like that idea.
I think another
You know?
thing that I see with that is like men want, some men, I'm
Yeah.
not generalizing, like those kind of men, they want, say, for example, you see a woman, she's maybe head of a sector, she's doing well, she's very powerful, she commands so much power and respect. They now want to be the only one that can subdue or seem to be the only person that has power over that person.
Like, I used to talk to someone who, I mean, everybody who knows me knows I'm a Twitter person.
I know.
Yeah.
You live there.
Yeah, I literally, that is where I say whatever I want to say, I was talking to this person, and then suddenly he comes. There was some day I was going through stuff, and then I tweeted about this, and then he comes to my DM and he says, "Tell me everything you're going through. Don't go to Twitter." I say, he's just talking stage, oh. He's just talking stage, Oga. I blocked him. I'm a block. You see,
God.
if you check my block list, it's long like this.
I've repented from
No,
blocking
no.
people.
I block. And when I block you in reality. When you see me pass, because there's no what. Why are you?
Reality?
One day he met me. I said, "You blocked." I said, "Because you were being silly. You're just talking to me and telling me
I've
what."
repented. I
You
used to
know?
block people.
Me, I will block you, because what is the meaning of that? Those are the kind of men that want to collect bride price after. Because if you have everything going on for you, why would you why would you want to be bride price? Come on now.
Especially bride price that was not even worth it. Like,
Exactly.
can you return the experience that you've had? Because definitely, regardless of anything, that whole relationship or marriage has had good times, even though there were bad times.
It's
Can
just
you
like
return the good and the
It's just
bad
like the
times?
people that say, oh, that when you're in a relationship and then the man comes and he says, "Give me all the things I bought for you."
We're even having that conversation before you came here.
Oh.
Said a guy bought a girl an iPhone, Abi,
Mm.
and after the relationship returned, I said, when your father is not Steve Jobs,
Like-
is he the one that produced the iPhone?
Because I don't understand. Because me, like I said, I think I said it the last time. I'm a gift.
Because I don't think, do girls do the same
No,
thing?
I
Like
don't
everything
think so.
they give a guy
Now
during
say,
a
"Come and
relationship,
give me
not say
back."
refund it.
No. Babes like me, I gift though. So yeah, and my gift is not cheap.
And it's always
So you
guys
not come
that
and
do
I'll
it.
not come and it's always the guys.
Yeah.
The-
It shows that they are pained.
Yeah.
They say women are petty. Meanwhile, men are very petty.
Oh my God. So men can be so petty. Why are you? Anyways, I don't even meet people like that, because why are you
Of
telling me?
course, petty energy attracts petty energy.
Because why? Nobody would do that.
Crazy.
Why?
Okay, so our next hot take is this one. I know. Anyway, I think we might both agree on this one. Amala is elite, and anyone who disagrees with it or anyone who disagrees is spiritually blind.
I agree.
You agree?
Amala is such a wonderful swallow. It's not witty. It's actually very, very, I mean, before I tasted Amala,
Mm.
I would disagree. I would not say that, I don't know about Amala supremacy, but I like Amala,
Mm.
and I think that it is what's the hype because it's really light. It's actually
Yeah,
really light.
very, very
It's
light.
actually
Yeah.
really light. I don't know what the problem is with it. I feel like I have a problem with the process, how it's made.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it depends on who is making it.
Yeah, I hate the fact that it is associated with flies and where it's served. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, that's the spice." If I have to purge, then it's no spice, But I mean, as a swallow, I mean, I would never slander amala. I mean,
Mm.
after I ate amala, then
Yeah.
I would never slander amala. But I understand people who preference,
Yeah. I think as somebody who is from Oron, the amala is very similar to our Oron local meal, the Iwe Kparonoton.
Oh, okay.
Very, very similar. Because so gbegiri is beans, literally
Yeah.
that's mashed and all that stuff. Then we have our own okra soup that we add beans to.
Oh,
Do you understand? So there's a similarity. I feel like every Oron person would like amala because it's very similar to. Then the amala itself is just like the cassava that
yeah.
we the way we make ours, it's very thin, so it's also as light as amala.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I love amala. In
I
fact,
do.
years back in Lagos, there's this place in Lagos that we used to go and eat amala there in my auntie's house. And at some point, people started rumoring that Duma used to go to she used to go to mortuary. I say, is that mortuary water I want to drink? That's even the reason?
Amala is
And
so
as we used
good.
to make a joke, they'll be like, she should take our destiny. If it's that amala, we'll stop eating it.
No, amala
She
is
should
so
take
good.
my destiny.
Every time I'm in Lagos, I have to eat amala.
I love
I
amala
love
anyway.
amala a lot.
But then again, when it comes to Lagos, everything in Lagos is hype. They will hype amala so well. But then again, anyway, I'm not comparing, but our afang soup is also is all that.
Yes, of course.
It's all that. But
Haba.
but then again, you or Akwabon people are not that hypey kind of people. But Lagos people
They will hype
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so we agree that amala is elite, but
Very
maybe
elite.
not so elite.
Mm.
Okay, so
It's okay
this
where
one
it
again.
is. Amala is okay where it is.
Abi?
Yeah.
So this one is Lagos is not the center of the universe.
Yes.
Because
no.
Lagosians feel okay. I have I've seen people who come to Akwa Ibom and they're like shocked. Like, so Akwa Ibom has good roads. It's so calm. There's no traffic. They're even surprised that maybe Akwa Ibom even has story buildings because I don't know what they're thinking in their head. Everybody feels
we use trees though. we use trees and horses.
So it's like they feel like skyscrapers are only in Lagos.
And most of the times, the people who visit Nigeria for the first time only have the Lagos experience. So they're saying, it's so loud, it's so this, it's so that. There are other places. See, they are very calm cities.
Uyo.
What?
Please, if you have not been to Uyo and you're in
you
Nigerian,
should.
I'm
I don't
sorry
know.
for
You're
you.
sleeping on a bicycle because what? I don't know. See, first of all, I'm sorry, but I dislike Lagos. That babe that said that Lagos smells. Oh my God. The island stinks. And it is not a lie. It's not, it's not something that is just,
it's
nobody
fact.
made it. It's fact, So imagine coming to Nigeria for the first time and it's only Lagos. You're hanging. You're hanging on a red hanger because
I have, lived in Lagos for a while, worked in Lagos, and
what?
The moment
That
I
place
came
is
back
crazy.
to you,
See, that place is fast.
I cannot leave.
Do you know?
I cannot live in Lagos anymore.
People in Lagos walk very fast. Like they walk. I'm like now. Like they walk very fast. If you come to Uyo, people are just casually, But in Lagos, they're always walking. They're always like, what is rush? What is pushing? Like,
running out.
I cannot survive.
And I heard that life expectancy in Lagos is very
now it's
low
like
because
60 years old.
Stress is crazy.
It's so crazy. See, when I came back from Ghana, I was legit. I was irritated. I was so irritated. When you've experienced something better, and then already I do not like Lagos. I do not.
I know a lot of people that don't like Lagos.
I know. Like, if you give me a job, like I've received, when I was job hunting, I received jobs that were going for more, more money. But you just know now, Lagos. So cost of living, you fit kill the living for Lagos. Like, it's so crazy. Food on the island alone that one is another world.
That one is another
You
high.
see, these people are paying for luxury, paying basic amenities of life. You're paying. They're paying in, like, when I had Thai gele for 50K, 70K.
Why?
When it's 152K. And it's not like we are villagers. It's just what it is. Gele time was never anything, It's just something that you can tie like 5 people and just get your money and go. But now it's such
They have turned it into a luxury product.
Like, what is that? It's not luxury. You're not, see, let me tell you, if you're in Lagos and you think that just entering boat and going about your activity is luxury, they lie. You're lying to yourself.
Anyway, we're not hating.
No, we're not hating,
but it's the reality.
Lagos is not
so overhyped.
Lagos is not Nigeria. Nigeria is Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Abuja,
like
there's Delta, come on now, no. You can't say that. You can't, if you come to Nigeria, call me, I'll take you to different states.
But then again, I also understand that Lagos is a commercial hub. It's very easy to make it in Lagos. Like, they have
the target audience.
I feel like
for
if
anything.
you're in your early 20s, your early 20s, you just graduated school. I feel you should go to Lagos.
It's like the Miami of Nigeria.
No, you can go there and learn the hustle, but I don't think Lagos is where anybody should live long term.
No, you make the money there and just take it.
The money is
away.
there.
Yeah, you make the money in Lagos, take it away. Because if you want to go, you see, do you know, when I stayed in Lagos for a few weeks, and I spent money I could have spent in Qatar for a week or 2.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Because of the hype. I was staying in
an apartment on the island, and my God, everything. Just to cook 1 pot of soup. I was losing my mind. I was running into 80s. Like,
the funny thing is that when you say these things, that they'll be like, it's relative.
They say that you're not the target audience.
Exactly.
They say you're not the target audience. When you're paying for basic things that we just see around here, like
as
this.
if it's luxury.
You want to buy it, so you just walk in and buy it, and then you're telling me that is what? I say parfait is like 18,000. Parfait is like,
how much are we buying parfait? The best parfait in Oyo is how much?
It's like 3K.
The best parfait.
I bought from one lady and it was good. I have had the other ones. You know, the biggest
lady that does parfait. I can't remember, but it's not that expensive though. But it's good.
It's so good. See, I've had the greatest parfait in Uyo, and it's so good. That?
I really can't figure out.
In recent times, I've had like, from what's that lady? No. Do you know?
No exactly.
Food.
Yes,
no
I
food.
buy it.
Yes.
Now we're doing free promo
for no food.
No. I'm actually a fan of no food.
Yes.
I buy parfait from my true.
I've been buying parfait for a long time from no food, and it's so good. And I know that Melanie Pine's parfait is perfect. She used to be in Calabar. She's big now, and she used to be in Calabar. But when I went to Lagos, I heard that it's like I say 18 from like I'm like.
Is it the smallest cup? I've never had it.
I can't remember. It was like the 1 liter bowl.
Okay.
Oh my God! I say parfait. Parfait has turned to luxury item.
I better go and buy your
burgers
go and buy your yogurt and buy your granola.
And then they are feeling like, oh, you can't afford it, so you're not the target audience.
Indeed.
Please, you're just wasting money. You're wasting money on basic things that you can get anywhere.
Exactly.
It's but I know that it is the hub for businesses. It is where you can.
And I also understand that people, of course, they're earning higher,
of course.
So it might. So what seems like luxury to other people in other parts of the country might be nothing to them. But then again, it's hype. And there's peer pressure. Some of these things are peer pressure.
Like, see the Big Brother housemates now.
I hear a lot of them are broke.
They are broke and famous. Do you know, that's the worst thing you can be in life. And some of them are living in Calabar, living in Uyo, living in, but because they say the hype is in Lagos, all of them now move to Lagos. House rent here is crazy. Up. You want to do 2 bed, you know that you're running into 5M. You're doing because you're on the island.
Yeah.
She gets. So it's because now they are broke. They are living now. They want to go for events. How much is it to make a dress in Lagos?
Crazy.
Very crazy. Somebody made Ankara for me for 100 and something thousand. Basic Ankara with nothing on it. She get.
Yeah.
Well, I saw like fabrics like that. I saw how much they sell it in Lagos, and there are a lot of things that but in Lagos it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So so I'm not somebody. I'm not leave according
Me,
to.
I've agreed. I'm not the target
No,
audience.
I'm not.
It's fine. I'm not.
You're rich. I'm
Yeah.
not.
I'm not the target audience. So, our final hot take is most Nigerians don't know the national anthem.
I am most Nigerians.
I am
Are
most
you most
Nigerians.
Nigerians?
I don't get the reason behind changing it. I think the old national anthem, I can still remember the second verse, but
See, everything about Nigeria is upside down. Because how can you bring something that I never knew? Because I was not, I don't think I was born when.
I think but the people, the funny thing is everything is kind of relative in this world. Because the people in nursery school now will learn it with ease. It will come easy to them. Yeah.
But I don't know it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that was such a random decision to make.
Very unnecessary.
Like I don't know from where to where.
I want to believe that they have a good reason behind it.
Please a lie. See, I do not agree. Which do they what? You're what? Nigeria? No, I don't. I'm not. I don't agree. They don't have any reason. They just sit down. There are a lot of things happening now. They will not address the killings. They will not address. They are going to change national anthem. Please, though, me, I don't know it. I'm not going to know it. If you are going to get money or lose money from knowing the national anthem, I've lost it because I don't know it.
Okay, so the last one, instant noodles is for survival. Don't glamorize it.
I think I agree. First of all, me, the way I even cook my noodles, I like the most basic noodles. I'm sorry. But now, when you go out, you're seeing like restaurants who like you're putting turkey. I don't have a problem with that. So that's why it's going to stay the same price. Because I don't know why Indomie noodles should be 20,000 naira.
Funny thing is that Indomie noodles actually has a distinct taste.
Yeah. It does. I mean, if it's not Indomie noodles,
yes, you can tell. Especially if you're an OG.
Exactly, you can tell. There was even a time the green one, you could tell the green one away from the yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I've actually I went swimming one time.
Yeah.
And after swimming I was hungry. So I checked their menu and I saw noodles. I didn't really pay attention to the price. They brought the bill. I think it was almost 10,000. I'm like, for what?
For what?
Because there's chicken inside, there's vegetables and some kind of sauce. Like, why? Please, let's allow
there used to be
noodles,
sharp things that you just
instant noodles be instant noodles.
Yes.
It's survival food.
And if you want to do it, as far as the price will stay the same.
Of course, the price will not stay the same.
So me, I'm not going to. They will say again, you're not the target audience because the people that
I'm
pay
not
for
the target
pap,
audience.
do you know the people that pay 10K for pap?
Like, please, where do they sell?
You don't know
pap?
people like sell pap. Like now, you can go to a restaurant and you eat pap in a mortar. You don't know that?
Oh,
yeah.
No, I agree with you because I just remembered I saw something on somebody, like one of these influencers that live in Abuja. There's Gary.
Yes, Gary.
Have you seen whether it's 50K?
Yes.
With suya.
Yes.
And I'm like, why?
Yes.
But then again, I agree.
Yes.
See my hand up. I said I'm not the target audience. I'm not. I'm not
going to anywhere to go and eat pap for 20,000 or 50,000.
For what?
My mother would just.
I don't. They say whether they call it University of Gary.
Yes, it's actually. I mean,
I know it's a thing.
Me, I know that I have gone to a place and I have seen them bring it. They've brought moi,
yeah,
and Gary.
Yeah,
Gary in a mortar.
I think there was milk.
Yes, they'll bring milk and everything too.
Like if you were supposed to buy all those things with 50K will still not.
Even a bag. How much is a bag of Gary? Maybe I'm too Nigerian for a lot of things. Why? Why are we doing this?
But, like again, it's the hype. Then again, it's branding. Because like apparently there are people that can afford it. And
now,
I just heard about it yesterday. To be very honest, I was very clueless about what Labubu was.
The Labubu, first of all, I didn't understand it.
Like the toy?
Yeah.
For how much?
It's 100 and something thousand naira.
And I saw somebody had like 2 or 3 on her bag. All this thing is peer pressure.
It's just
like what else?
We overhype a lot of nonsense. That's just it.
Especially like if I say Lagos now, Lagos people say, hey, I'm not hating Lagos. I've lived in Lagos before. I understand what goes on in Lagos. I love, some parts of Lagos.
It's peer pressure.
The peer pressure there will make you people live very...
Somebody said you don't have the money. That's why you're bashing. It's okay. I know.
What can I do?
help
when,
me poor.
when my father is not Elon Musk.
Do you understand? What see,
We
I
agree.
cannot even lie. I don't even deny my Africanness because there's a reason I
No,
was trained
apart
the way
from
I was
even being
trained.
African, like you're not
Just
denying
common
your,
sense, like
let's say, your financial strength and weaknesses. Because at the end of the day, do you understand? If you have other things that you could have done with 200K and you use it to buy Labubu, does it even make any sense?
I remember when
Just because you
I
want to
remember
feel a more.
when I was dragging a certain influencer, a certain wig vendor, a very popular wig vendor, and he went berserk
I'm
on
thinking, I
Twitter.
think, is it the one that has some links to Calabar? I don't want to mention
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I was dragging her because she was selling hair for 3.5 million naira. And she'll say, if you buy two, I'll give you a wooden water bottle. And I was like, what?
I think I can remember
Something you're
that
supposed
thing.
to put small car inside bag for me and send to me. And people were now saying, if I have 100 million naira, what is 7 point, I mean, 7
But the
million
thing is
naira?
that you don't have the 100 million naira.
I say, so suddenly, every Nigerian is rich.
Wow.
Every Nigerian is rich on the internet. So
that's even another on
like
Twitter.
on Twitter,
Every
Nigerian
on
is
Twitter
rich.
is rich.
Because I remember when one girl said that I man give her 500K is nothing, blah 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 blah. How much is
No.
no me? I understand that there's
Yeah.
a level you reach, like where you know that this thing is I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's the every night, like the people were girls that I had to do some clicks. I went to their pages. I'm like, you don't even have one luxury hair, so why are you talking? If I have 100 million naira, what's your business?
But you don't have it.
You don't have it, girl. Come on,
Let's be realistic.
how many average Nigerians have 100 million naira just sitting in their account waiting to
There
buy
are people.
hair?
Remember, you were at the Piggy Fest event, and they said there are people that would die and never see 100 million. Naira.
Exactly.
It's the reality.
10 million. What are you saying? 10 million naira. The average Nigerian would die and not see 10 million naira. I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know what so when you come at basic things that should not be made, now
Yeah.
if you sell hair that's affordable, they'll say it's fake. Or they'll say it's,
That's the Nigerian like a
Exactly,
Nigerian thing. When something is not expensive, they don't value it.
One woman was selling 8 inches bulb for 80 something thousand naira. And I said, this one is fake. I said, see these people.
She has not called it in millions. And she's not giving wooden water
exactly. So now
bottle,
everybody
so
wants to
they
hype
don't
their own,
believe
so they don't look like they're selling fake.
Yeah.
But saying that he wants to give somebody one wooden water bottle, if they buy 3.5 million naira hair, it's berserk. I don't know.
Those hair vendors that year, they were cashing out
eh?
like crazy.
So if your hair, and the thing is, when you look at the hair, you can see that it is a lie. They'll say, oh, don't know. How many people can you cut hair from? See, let's not even go there, because if I want to go there, I will not stop.
That's a conversation for another
yes.
day.
But I am not going to pay millions for things that I can just
Very
run,
basic.
basic things. No, I'm not going to be part of those people. So if you want to give me the award, call Igwe to give me the award, because I am not going to do that. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Pamela.
Thank you very much.
This was a very, very, very interesting episode. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully, you have to come again.
Oh.
This other hair, we have to have an episode about hair.
Yes, we do.
These hair vendors. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched up until this point, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with your friends, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. See you guys on our next episode. Bye.
Bye.